There is confusion over US President Donald Trump's health. This follows his first night in hospital with COVID-19. An anonymous source, thought to be White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, says the US president went through a very concerning period on Friday and the next 48 hours will be critical. The comments contradict the rosy assessment of Donald Trump's condition offered by his staff and doctors.
And Donald Trump has put out a statement from hospital just a few minutes ago. Here's what he had to say.
I want to begin by thanking all of the incredible medical professionals, the doctors, the nurses, everybody at Walter Reed Medical Center. I think it's the finest in the world for the incredible job they've been doing. I came here, wasn't feeling so well. I feel much better now. We're working hard to get me all the way back. I have to be back because we still have to make America great again. We've done an awfully good job of that, but we still have steps to go and we have to finish that job. And I'll be back. I think I'll be back soon. And I look forward to finishing up the campaign the way it was started and the way we've been doing and the kind of numbers that we've been doing. We've been so proud of it. But this was something that happened, and it's happened to millions of people all over the world, and I'm fighting for them. Not just in the US, I'm fighting for them all over the world. We're going to beat this coronavirus, or whatever you want to call it, and we're going to beat it soundly. So many things have happened. If you look at the therapeutics, which I'm taking right now, some of them, and others are coming out soon that are looking like, frankly, they're miracles. If you want to know the truth, they're miracles. People criticize me when I say that, but we have things happening that look like they're miracles coming down from God. So I just want to tell you that I'm starting to feel good. You don't know over the next period of a few days. I guess that's the real test. So we'll be seeing what happens over those next couple of days. I just want to be so thankful for all of the support I've seen, whether it's on television or reading about it. I most of all appreciate what's been said by the American people, by almost a bipartisan consensus of American people. It's a beautiful thing to see, and I very much appreciate it, and I won't forget it. I promise you that. I also want to thank the leaders of the world for their condolences, and they know what we're going through. They know what, as your leader, what I have to go through. But I had no choice because I just didn't want to stay in the White House. I was given that alternative. Stay in the White House, lock yourself in, don't ever leave, don't even go to the Oval Office. Just stay upstairs and enjoy it. Don't see people, don't talk to people, and just be done with it. And I can't do that. I had to be out front, and this is America. This is the United States. This is the greatest country in the world. This is the most powerful country in the world. I can't be locked up in a room upstairs and totally safe and just say, hey, whatever happens, happens. I can't do that. We have to confront problems. As a leader, you have to confront problems. There's never been a great leader that would have done that. So that's where it is. I'm doing well. I want to thank everybody. Our First Lady is doing very well. Melania asked me to say something as to the respect that she has for our country, the love that she has for our country. And we're both doing well. Melania is really handling it very nicely. As you've probably read, she's slightly younger than me, just a little tiny bit. And therefore, just we know the disease, we know the situation with age versus younger people. And Melania is handling it statistically like it's supposed to be handled. And that makes me very happy, and it makes the country very happy. But I'm also doing well, and I think we're going to have a very good result. Again, over the next few days, we're going to probably know for sure. So I just want to thank everybody out there, everybody, all over the world, specifically the United States. The outpouring of love has been incredible. I will never forget. Thank you very much.
US President Donald Trump there tweeting his address a little earlier, and we spoke to our North America correspondent David Lipson a little earlier as well from outside the Walter Reed Hospital in Washington, D.C.
The president's hospitalisation is really playing out a bit like the rest of his presidency, with two different narratives as to his condition right now. First, we had the team of doctors, all in white coats, coming out of the Walter Reed Military Hospital behind me to brief the press with a very rosy picture of the President's condition, saying that he was not on oxygen, was not needing oxygen at this time, that he was doing well, that they were cautiously optimistic, and that they believed that he was headed in the right direction. Let's hear some of what Sean Connolly, the President's physician, had to say to the press there.
I recommended we bring the President up to Walter Reed as a precautionary measure to provide state-of-the-art monitoring and any care that he may need. Just 72 hours into the diagnosis now, the first week of COVID, and in particular days 7 to 10, are the most critical in determining the likely course of this illness.
We have monitored his cardiac function, his kidney function, his liver function. All of those are normal. And the President this morning is not on oxygen, not having difficulty breathing or walking around the White House medical unit upstairs.
But then a matter of minutes later, there came a quote from an anonymous source painting a very different picture. It said, quote, "The President's vitals over the last 24 hours were very concerning, and the next 48 hours will be critical in terms of his care. We're still not on a clear path to a full recovery." And just to give you a bit of a sense as to where that quote came from, it was delivered to the pool of White House reporters that were there at the hospital. Now, we don't know exactly who said it, but we do know that the President's Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, was seen on camera and heard just a few moments earlier saying that he wanted to have a chat to reporters, a briefing chat, a sort of background briefing chat, which usually means not sourced. So, as I say, I don't know for sure that it was Mark Meadows, but it was given to that pool of reporters. So, as I say, competing narratives as to what condition the President's in, and that just leaves a whole lot of confusion.
It certainly does, and all this confusion, of course, comes at a time when more senior Republicans have now tested positive, David. Do we even know how this outbreak started?
We don't know for sure, and look, we may never know for sure, but yes, you're right, more Republican figures are testing positive. Chris Christie, the former governor of New Jersey, is one of them. He was President Trump's briefer and advisor for the debate on Tuesday night here, American time, and was speaking very regularly with the President at close quarters and not wearing a mask, and neither was the President often. So he's one who's got coronavirus. There's now 3 Republican senators who have the virus as well. And it's starting to look like more and more that the Rose Garden event at the White House a week ago, when President Trump announced his nominee for the Supreme Court, Amy Coney Barrett, certainly played a significant part, or perhaps was the sort of super spreader event that's passed it on everywhere. What's clear is that this has spread quite significantly through the White House itself, and many of the other mechanisms that come into contact with the White House. Things are still running smoothly in terms of the wheels of government and the like, but this is an incredibly messy situation, and layered on top of it, this lack of clear information. And another one I should just mention is that doctor of the President's had said in that briefing very clearly that it was 72 hours since the President actually had his diagnosis. Now, that would put his infection happening and the diagnosis, the detection of that infection, just about 13 and a half hours after the debate. Now, that was then cleared up a little bit later by the White House, and the doctor said that he misspoke, but he was reading off notes at the time when he said 72 hours. So, look, it's all very confusing. If that is true, that it was 72 hours, then the President, it seems, would have been knowingly going to several campaign events, meeting with big donors and the like, knowing that he had coronavirus. Now, as I say, that's been cleared up by the White House, but it's all pretty messy.